I once knew a spy.
Spies.
She was brilliant, erratic, cursed, an anti-personal mind in human form. Her friends called her Herschel, but to her controllers, she was Cascade.
Your name and your cryptonym. A dead limb twitches.
The abandoning kind. One by one, she watched her friends go out like distant lights. Portofiro 91, the whole sick crew. A disaster untold, a black page in the official records. None at all, yet here we are, standing over the smashed and leaking world. She was recalled. They put her in the freezer. Forever. But 5 years passed. A little more of the world leaked out of itself. Cascade's controllers ordered her back to Portofiro. Because I asked them to. There is a new assignment, Cascade. I was supposed to give you the brief. Right here, in an armchair in a safe house above a 24-hour photo shop in the city-state of Portofiro. No one special, just an arm-like sack of cytoplasm, a special move unique to single-cell organisms. But before that, I was like you, a spy for the People's Republics, one of the varieties of mankind. This is a dangerous place, Cascade. I should never have come. I got caught with my pants down. On the plus side, I no longer have to worry about independent thought or movement. Too late, operant. I'm smashed and leaking. Whatever happens has already happened.
Displayed on the chair before you is a man, approximately mid-30s. His chest rises and falls in steady rhythm as he stares beyond you, unblinking. Alive, yet not alive. His eyes are fixed glassily on the ceiling. No response, no jolt, no tremor. All posts deserted. The green of long-corroded copper. As for the face around the eyes, his jaw hangs slack, his glasses askew. The lopsided headphones accentuate a large bald spot atop his crown. Stiff-collared shirt, a snug brown jacket, and nothing below the waist but a pair of red briefs. Being a lone operant in a foreign theatre is an extreme pressure role. Some require extreme release. As your eyes reach his feet, you notice that the man is also wearing 3 layers of socks, each slightly shorter than the one beneath it. There is no smell of alcohol, nor any open containers, no drug paraphernalia either, just a loose cord trailing to the stereo system. Like a cosmonaut's safety tether. Your fingers detect a faint, steady pulse within the base of his wrist. Elevated, but no vomit, no discoloration on the skin, no bruising or signs of struggle. And if it's poison, it's a bazaar strain. None of which precludes professional assassination. The man's eyes glisten. Bright red veins blossom around their edges. If so, he will have to become something else entirely. You both exist now in different futures. However he ended up like this, the result is the same. Operant lost. Your operant. Your double. You. A snail's trail of dried saliva glints on the side of his chin. Clipped to the inside flap of his jacket, you find a laminated badge, emblazoned with the crest of the Import-Export Bureau of the People's Republic of Kohila. The name reads, Esteman T. Below that, a title, Im Ex-Lead Hosiery. Sock Merchant, one of the opera's most battle-tested covers. That's what the badge says. This is only a cover, but such phantoms often mimic the Operant Bureau's actual hierarchies. Unfortunately, the Operant Bureau's Human Relations Department is nothing but a front for the irregular Interrogation Directorate. Wearing the wares for ease of display, an operant committed to his role. 3 other things of note: a slip of paper, a business card, and a rock-hard piece of candy. A wrapped-up rectangle of compressed sugar. It's so hard that your fingers cannot make an impression, no matter how much you strain. It takes 5 jaw tenses before you manage to shatter it. Sugary daggers jab the inside of your mouth. After a few more game attempts to chew, it takes all the will you possess to swallow the jagged clot. Its aftertaste contaminates your mouth. It's a purchase order for 10 socks, made out to Carmuna Pessoa, Fashions and Garments, Bootleg Bazaar. Bootleg Bazaar. No coordinates found. Some kind of marketplace, and not one you've ever been to. 5 pairs, 10 socks. This is not a real order. It's a sympathy order. He obviously made an impression on this Carmuna. The slip of paper grows heavy in your hand. It feels like a baton. The card is cheap and scuffed. It reads, "All you need is miracle," above a cartoonish image of disembodied lips at a phone receiver. Notably absent is an actual phone number. There's an indecipherable scribble. Whatever's written seems to begin with a D. Into your pocket it goes. You retract your hand from the man's pockets. Your double didn't notice your arrival. You return to your double's limb. Your double is in... Following the cord from the unconscious man's headphones, you come to a mid-sized home stereo resting on a sideboard. Through the translucent view panel, you see a single red disc loaded in place. On the face of the disc are the words, "Ultravioletta, you but from a dream," handwritten on thin strips of tape. You don't recognize the artist. The disc is loaded, ready to tell you. The chunky button makes a satisfying little thunk as you push it in. The discus begins to turn. You know because the spindle was rotating, though the speakers don't produce any sound at all. No sound, save the thin layer of static that lines the inner cables. The music player blinks, slowly. Or do you? You can't tell. The silence is being overtaken by a different silence, like the slow darkening of night across the wall of an empty room. This new silence seeps into every corner of your body, loosening fixtures, rattling drawers, seeing what will come with it. There is still no sound, but in your mind an image forms of a blasted heath, a smouldering circle at its centre. Figures in tattered robes stagger and sway on the horizon. A fallen star, an irregular rock of no colour the human eye can perceive. A dispatch from the underside of reality. The intermittent flash of a distant storm silhouettes a row of dark figures against the pale sky. Mendicants dedicated to the fallen star. Many bodies, one soul. Their tattered rags soaked with universal tears. They weep with gratitude. They've been released from the prison of consciousness. It is meant for anybody who will listen. 5,000,000 dreamers roll over in unison. It doesn't appear to be. The disc is spinning the way. Nothing. You're simply playing a disc on a common home stereo system. The sort of thing millions of people across the world do every day. No. The static quiets as you reset the volume. A brief internal hum. Then the disc slides halfway out of the machine and waits there like it's trying to hide from you. You remove the red disc and place it into your pocket. Crimson flashes within its casing as the static quiets as you a brief You remove the red disc as you turn away. You pick up the phone. The handset vibrates in your palm. A peculiar species of static washes over your ear. Half a world away, a familiar voice splits into 256,000 encrypted fragments before coalescing again by your ear.
Please tell me you have good news. Operant, you made it. Your voice hasn't changed.
Her voice is just as you remember.
We'll get to catch-ups later. Put Pseudopod on the line.
You glance over at the man in the chair. This is wrong. You shouldn't be here. This should be happening to someone else. You feel the... For a moment, no one says anything. There's no sound at all, save for the blood in your ear and the electrostatic hum of the ultra-long distance connection.
Has he been zeroed out?
Eliminated, killed, rendered inoperant.
Very odd. Why would he be listening to a blank disc? Probably a manufacturing defect. I don't see how a disc could have anything to do with Pseudopod's condition. That doesn't tell us much. What else? So what? Your cover was meant to be sock importers. Okay, that is strange, but I don't see what it's got to do with his condition. Method espionage? Is that some sort of joke? I'll ask one more time. Is your double zeroed out?
You must speak the word. She cannot make the determination herself. Once you say it, there's no going back. The momentum of events will overtake you.
Cascade, is your double zeroed out or not? Yes, you do. Is he zeroed out, Operant? Right. I wonder which it is. Have our enemies blown us up already? Or is this just another day at the basement massage parlor of Spy Services? Fucking hell. The Opera's going to hang me by the toes. For you, it's back to Satellite Facility B.
Archives, mountains of paper, shiver, resist.
That's exactly the problem. You haven't got Pseudopod and you haven't got the assignment either. Listen to me. This assignment is over. Effective immediately.
Over. Immediately. The words ricochet inside your skull.
The woman in the Photoshop downstairs, Constanz. She's one of ours. Let her deal with Pseudopod. As for you, we need to get you on the next aerotram out of the city.
Disregard. Time for some self-directed espionage. That numberless phone line may be worth investigating, Perhaps the room contains other leads as well.
Let the photo lady deal with him. Your concern is getting out of Portofiro, understand?
Reactionary pessimism. The people's spy is indomitable.
Cut the Mel stuff. We're talking about work now.
No way things have gone this bad this quickly. There's only
Simulation. That's a new one.
precisely what the facilitator of a simulation would be required to say.
Those words form a grammatical sentence, and yet I have no idea what they mean. There should still be flights departing for Superblock territory tonight. Make sure you're on one of them. I'm not responding to that. This assignment is over. Get on the next. Then you're going to end up like Pseudopod. Zeroed out. Your choice.
A click, and you return to your double's limp body. Your double has deserted the track before the starting gun. Will you stand for it? Pathetic. He rocks gently, giving away nothing. Enough of this reactionary angle of repose. The man's breath gargles softly in his throat as you yank him upwards. He is heavier than he looks. His head lolls on its neck hinge. If you didn't know any better, you would say his deserted eyes seem to be urging you in the direction of the bathroom. You heave him up and down, making his limp head bounce in a grotesque nod. Onwards. The unassigned assignment is now yours alone. The man's head slips 2 centimeters to the left. His jaw slides with it. The small table has been turned into a makeshift desk. A startlingly red folder stands out against the clutter. Amidst the crumpled sheets of copy paper and empty takeout containers, you find an opened pack of cigarettes, Suprema mark. Smokes, ease of mind, cool. There's nothing outwardly noteworthy about this pack of Suprema 100s. It's like any other found in commissaries and corner stores across the People's Republics. There are a few mangled filters in the ashtray. You leave the cigarettes where you found them. There's nothing outwardly You leave the cigarette. A small label in the top left corner is printed with one word. Your cryptonym, Cascade. It screams danger, not for human consumption. The folder opens with a whoosh. Before you in neat monospace type, your life is condensed to its barest elements. Name Will Kershaw, cryptonym Cascade. Born Landau, former Republic of Mercia. Dependents none. Pay class D2. Years of service 14. Childhood, bourgeois, typical. History of student radicalism led to persecution by monotheist reactionaries. Fled to People's Republic of Kohila. Embraced post-historical materialism. In short, born capitalist, reborn communist. Medical record. History of dissociative episodes and reckless action. Gunshot, chest. Retained bullet. 10mm pre-service. Sexuality. Homosexual tendencies. Unconfirmed. Suicide risk minimal. Ideation only. End of list. According to this file, that's all there is to you. According to the opera's remembrances, raw facts are the totality of your being. There's another page behind this one. It's labeled Service History. A tingle in your fingers. Your head grows lighter as you approach the crash site. In just a few words, the worst failure of your life is reduced to bureaucratic shorthand. Previous assignment, Portofiro 88 to 91, network whole sick crew, operants Cascade, assets. A secret the opera has elected to keep from itself. Obvious. The opera wanted him to know what sort of spy he'd be working with. Most recent assignment, Novessa, 91 to present, Satellite Facility B, status inactive. AKA the freezer, where the old, useless and discredited are assigned to wander the climate-controlled hexagonal galleries until they're dismissed or die of despair. Or very occasionally, until fate recalls them to the opera's service. Now if only you can figure out why. The folder shuts itself with a tiny sigh. Whoa, whoa, the darkest secrets. You can't just leave them out like this. It takes all your concentration to chew the pages into a wad of pulp you can actually swallow. Now you've internalized your secrets, they probably can't do any damage from in there. You turn away from the desk. Of men's trousers are hung delicately over the shower rail. If Pseudopod's pants were attempting to flee the scene, they did not make it very far. One of the many mysteries concerning men's trousers. Brown, shapeless, utterly unremarkable. The front and back pockets are completely empty, except for a few pieces of lint. Nothing but dead air from when you moved him. Unless... You discover a small extra pocket inside the front right pocket. You slip 2 fingers inside and come away with a neatly folded sheet of paper. The page is notebook-sized and perforated along one edge. It reads: THA 7LESAPR 032 WIFO 9W TBGFL W25. Half a cipher. The language of spies. You've carried papers like this, folded up and hidden away in secret pockets and compartments. You leave the trousers as they were. You return to your doubles. You return to the desk, secreted neatly against the inner wall of the pack, just as you were once taught to do yourself. A crisply folded sheet of A7 paper. It reads: ZWS JMXVB TW AON TRRA KB ZQY. The missing companion to the one-time key you recovered from the trousers. One-to-one correspondence between key and text. This is a Rosetta cipher. Your heart skips a beat. The pack slides nicely into your pocket, as though it always belonged there. Letter by letter, words emerge from the mist. They speak in a voice you haven't heard for a long time. For Cascade, all will be forgiven. For Cascade, all will be forgiven. Only your double's advancing bald spot is visible to you over the rim of the chair. The day beyond the window beckons you outwards. ZWS. For Cascade, all will be forgiven. You turn away from the... You return to your... You dial your controller's number. The phone buzzes.
I thought you were headed out. What is it? You have your directives. Get moving, operant.
The line goes dead. The stereo is right where you left it. You step away from the...
Enough! You're blacklisted. Take your sick little games elsewhere.
Easy, lady. I just want to develop some photographs. I'm not trying to take your innocence.
Does that poor girl even know what you're up to?
You have a wild imagination. A little photo should not count as a crime. It's not like it's a loaded gun or something.
Loaded gun. Your hair stands on end. The woman casts a split-second glance in your direction. Requesting assistance. Not your fight. Remain in bushes.
Whoa, whoa! Caught in a pincer by the art police. Not a good day for pursuing my interests.
A crackle of recognition behind his eyes as they meet yours. Of recognition behind his eyes. Found, a passing figure in the background of an old memory. Impossible to say if you don't know.
What?
She's probably another victim of your so-called...
What a fool's...
Restless eyes.
Very well.
He gives you one more glance as he leaves.
You get all walks in here.
Just
Nobody. A seedy little oddity who likes me. Probably just his lascivious aura. He's a local specimen. I doubt he ever gets out of Kisak. Ah, while I have it here, this is the screwdriver pseudopod requested. For the fax machine.
She gestures towards the monstrous off-white plastic machine behind.
Speaking of, where is your double?
The controller was clear. She doesn't need to know anything beyond her station. Compartmentalize.
No introductions necessary. You're operant Cascade. I'm Constanz, of course. Special asset, liminal class. Making my debut with the Operant Bureau.
A stagehand. Not even worth a cryptonym. She gives you a curt but respectful nod in return.
Before we get into it, I want to make one thing clear. Just because I'm working for the opera does not make me some kind of communist. A happily settled small businesswoman, a model petite bourgeois. The thrills, obviously. So don't even attempt to seduce me with your post-historical dialectics. Your double already tried his hardest. I'm here strictly for the espionage. No cause for worry. Pseudopod's been teaching me the basics of stagecraft. The only thing I haven't got up and working is this monstrous fax machine.
She looks at you. Basic social engineering. First, take the target into your confidence. Her look is wary, but intrigued. 2, turn an admirable quality into a vulnerability.
That's strange. No one said anything to me about a meta-task. Is this really how we handle personal matters? It sounds suspiciously elaborate.
She fucking loves it.
Ah, I understand. This is a test to check our information security. I'll have you know Pseudopod's not told me anything. He's kept it intensely tight.
Free. Exploit, exploit, exploit. A wince. A knife prick she'll surely remember.
Have you tried the bootleg bazaar? He was down there yesterday.
The bootleg bazaar. That matches the purchase order you found on his body.
He said he intended to interview some of the vendors. I can't tell you what he was after, precisely.
There. 2 lines of inquiry converge. Bring this purchase order to the bazaar. That's your next stop.
You can practically see it from the front door. Due south, in the ruins of the old Essilk factory. Head west from the roundabout. If by some chance you find yourself in Party Alley, it means you've gone the wrong way. I hope you write Pseudopod a glowing report. From what I've seen so far, he certainly deserves it. Was there anything else? It's that little amber light. It means out of order, and I haven't been able to get it to green, meaning in order.
Just looking at that thing causes you to take psychic damage. Best stay away.
Pseudopod assured me this machine was a vital tool of communication, as precious to our work as the magic box we installed on your room phone. You've received all sorts of technical training, I presume. I would think getting a little light to turn green should be well within your powers. I certainly don't. It looks flirtatious. Seedy business attracts itself. Try the fogged mirror. It's a bar just to the west, along Party Alley.
The shiver of a familiar name. Smell of old wood and cigarette ash. Tap of spilled drinks on the underside of your shoe. Your old haunt, where you met with your former assets once upon an assignment.
I try to avoid it, personally. Very well. Forgive me, is this still part of the test? Shouldn't you be the one advancing thesis and so forth? Granted, this is only my debut, but it seems to me that something's very amiss. No matter what we do, nothing appears to go according to plan. Pseudopod says it's all part of the work, but it gives me a rather unsettled feeling. A bit early for such a declaration, isn't it?
She gives you a nod.
Before you go, just one thing. How have we done? Will you be recommending Pseudopod for the people's... whatever it was? Good. He's earned it. No question. Well, I should let you get on with it.
She hesitates, a little shy all of a sudden.
I just wanted to say, welcome back to the opera.
The screen flickers, static turns to black. A booming voice emerges.
Wrong. The sky is only 98% sky. The other 2% is used to cover up the fact that they replaced the moon 4 times. But they don't want you to know that. That's why they're coming for me. But not before I tell you the truth.
The screen warps and color shifts. Between clips of the bagman talking, a phone number flashes urgently. You jot down the digits as Bagman watches on.
I am Subcommandante Beckman, and this is the reality situation. No breaks, no filters, no cowards. This is a war, and I don't take orders from anyone, especially not reality. I know about the Boers. I know about iodine. La Luz's invisible aircraft carriers, weaponized nostalgia, microbial microphones, lunar obfuscation programs. Find out what I know by tuning into the reality situation. Airing until they shut us down. I am Subcommandante.
The sounds from the commercial fade.
I'll print. I'll be here if you require.
A humongous white block of office technology sits in front of you. It looks like a sacrificial altar made of plastic. Inside, mechanical parts are assembled in such a way that it can scream analog messages across huge distances. Image quality, and whatever remains of human patience. Your screwdriver makes short work of the starhead screws holding the side panel in place. You set them aside one by one, and gently remove the plastic panel. The holy innards of the facsimile machine reveal themselves to you like a sacrificial animal, waiting to be interpreted. You're looking at a Sugar Hill Executive Series 2, a cursed model. Plagued by numerous debilities, most commonly a chronically misaligned paper tray. The machine is silent. The amber light blinks. From the machine bowels comes a pleasing chunk as the plastic tray slots back into its receiver. The paper belt purrs as life is restored.
Much better, thank you.
The small green light marks its status as ready. You turn away. The fax machine awaits all image quality. You turn away. The sour scent of urine surrounds the vending machine. Luckily, the beverages inside look fresh. The piss smell way. The clinic's metal door is scabbed with rust and surrounded by graffiti. An official-looking sign hangs to the right of it. Open nights, no knocking. Next animal who bleeds on this door gets sedated through the eye. Scrawled badly in horrific fonts. Fraud, butcher. Gonza owes me a tooth. Charged me for screaming. A vulgar drawing of a doctor seemingly fornicating with a leg. Warped frame, cheap steel, hinges rusted like flimsy, much flimsy. You turn back. The store has been left unattended. A haphazard arrangement of paperbacks and hardcovers that have seen better days. A handwritten sign teeters on top of one of the stacks of books. Books 10 sol, magazines 5 sol. Place money in the book. A few scrawled tags separate the various titles. You flip through the stack. Most magazines, the more recent issues focus on the emergent Elysian style. One cover catches your eyes. It depicts a leather-clad man, looking intensely grim with a large sword on his back. A label warns of ultra-violent content. The Hombre, Volume 5, Issue 8. A quick flip through reveals the amount of blood spilled is only matched by the sheer amount of nudity. You do the honest thing. Nothing changes in the world. Depends on how much you enjoy predictable pursuits of serial killers, variably through occult forests and the urban stage. Unfortunately, the stall's offerings look pretty bare. Nothing catches your eye. By far the largest collection, you see a wild range of material, from an anti-aging guide to a series of books all by the same author, Vitor Kampf. A prominent Elysian philosopher whose works have occasionally crossed over into international. It doesn't seem familiar. He gazes back at you from the cover. Underneath it is stated, the philosophical bad boy for our times. You'd be surprised. There are some shocking cases. By far the largest. There are no medical textbooks you can see. You flick past. Soy and you, smoking, the real enemy. Are the injections fake? Nothing to that effect is written here. Instead, backed with a ton of evidence, the book simply states that the book doesn't seem to think that's the case. Absolutely. The large collection of self-help books almost seems. A large space is allocated to the genre, but most of the books have been taken. Only a few. A shelf of scuffed books are united by their preference for black and apocalyptic reds. On their spines, a series of grandiose words large enough to fill the universe. Two of the titles stand out to you above the others. Light March of the Chosen. Pulpy space. A bunch of religious cultists travel through outer space in search of what they believe to be their god. No, it turns out the planet is their god. Totally. It's a shame the word planet is mistyped as plant on the final. Despite its dull cover, it seems to be an outright attack on the current state of reality. If anything, he would object to labeling it fiction. A notorious Elysian novelist and heroin addict. But it's not much different to a modern-day city, except the laws are much more lax. None so far as you can. Hundreds of printed material. Despite its... Hundreds of... You turn away from the... A shade in a leather jacket thrusts a decapitated head towards the reader, its lolling tongue and dripping viscera a promise of what's inside. Jagged metal, independently published metal, Hombre Hombre, Volume 5, Issue 8. The astringent chemical stink of cheap ink curls your delicate nostril hairs. The comic inks aren't even going to give you a head rush, but the nostalgia factor is undeniable. Black and white panels whip by, almost animated like a flipbook by the motion of your thumb. A word bubble filled with scratchy handwriting conjures a raspy voice in your mind's ear. A polyp on the perineum of society. A comic for big kids who can handle big kid words and drawings. A clawed fist hitting a pulped face, the violence itself off-panel, but somehow made visible by the suggestion of the word "crish" in a sickly bold font. A figure, man, woman, or demon, it's unclear, being consumed by shadows, swallowed alive, screaming. There wasn't a guy. It was a moon cultist, part of the wicked cabal responsible for killing his companion and lover, Aurelia Mist, the healer with the transplanted hands of a dual-wielding assassin. At least he did, before Aurelia was murdered by the moon cult. This isn't even the best arc. Wait until he finally masters shadow puppetry in Volume 6. You pause on a splash panel, huge, taking up the entire 2-page spread. The Hombre stands in a pool of swirling water, a tiny ocean floating in a void of liminal space. The towers of the sunlit city stretch towards the empty sky, their basements flooded, massive fish splayed atop their roofs, gasping for air. Before him, a red cloak, in the shape of his own silhouette, his own body bag, rises out of the water, inviting him to enfold himself in. The longer you look, the more details are revealed to you. A tiny face hidden in the brushstrokes that define a... Flipping the magazine open to where its findings hold the pages together, your eyes are filled with a horizontally oriented image, the comic's glorious cover, blown up in size. A shade in a leather jacket. The book seems expressly directed at people who are more comfortable with potentially deadly garage experiments than human interactions. A low-budget clandestine publication, somewhere between fanzine and paperback. The author's name is listed on the first page as Ji Cheng Wang. As it must be. This is a genre of literature neither written nor consumed by respectable individuals. It consists of some 60 pages of text, followed by an appendix with cut-out schematics for the body of the gun. Ostensibly a how-to guide, it doubles as a philosophical inquiry into the subject of firearms ethics. Firearms good, ethics bad. There are times in the conduct of human affairs when it becomes necessary to wang someone or something. This is a reality. There are, however, some preliminary considerations to disseminate. You would too, if your name was synonymous. Are you asking yourself whether you should or should not use the information in this book to build yourself a highly illegal firearm? Alas, there are many such decisional pitfalls in our world. It goes on extensively, the tone veering back and forth between sardonic hand-washing and outright murder advocacy. Probably not. Do you want to? Wang is the theory, and Wang is the practice. The instructions specify materials for a 6-shot pipe gun with push feed. 500-gram hard plastic melted down, 1 coin 10mm diameter, 1 broomstick or wooden dowel, 1 aluminium can, tools, glue, and plywood. Ball bearings. Yes, and it is up to you to scavenge it all. Best place to start would be Photo 24. There's gotta be some of this stuff lying around there somewhere. It's a working photo lab after all. Dotted lines mark the edges of 3-dimensional objects unfolded into rectangles and curved flaps. While unintelligible, the form of the gun lurks somewhere inside those shapes. Mathematical and yet crude. The lines display a profoundly unsober competence. 2 objects. The larger one is a mold that goes around the barrel and includes a crude grip, magazine well, and the outer part of the bolt feed mechanism. The smaller object is building it will be the...
Finally, someone with courtesy. Do you know when the 9 is coming?
A handsome man shifts in place, glancing over his shoulder towards the tram lines. Suitcases surround him.
Simple. It's just over there. I did see a man like that some days ago, I think. Near the bazaar, in fact.
Oh, sleeping brother.
No, he was alone. Why do you ask? I guess we share the same fate. I'm waiting on the 9. I was told it was having some problems. But it's supposed to be in service any day now. I was told it's supposed to be in service any day now. That was a week ago.
Enough time to grow accustomed to new surroundings and start noticing things.
I agree. But what am I to do? It seems to be the only way out of this city. I would appreciate it. Thank you. I'll be here in the meantime. Waiting.
You pick up the payphone's handset. A dolphin emblem smiles at you, its eyes wide. The emblematic animal of Portofiro's main phone company. Your gaze wanders away. You do not yet have the number of anyone else in this city. There is only one. She'd only tell you to get on an aero tram back home. A direct order which you have so far disobeyed. Whether you want it or not, it's certainly possible, though any benefit to doing so is unclear. Don't start wasting your time with prank calls, Operant. The Reno-tail dolphin eyes you expectantly. Your finger depresses the yielding material. Up, down, up, down. Sensual pleasure. You watch the dolphin pop back up, then squish again under the changing pressure of your finger. You lose track of time as you repeat the action. You tap out some numbers devoid of reason or thought. Surprisingly, the phone starts ringing immediately. Could be anyone about to pick up. A total stranger, their life intruded. Your breathing is amplified by the transmitter held at your mouth. A clunk. You hear the ambience of another room. An exhale. Then something wet being chewed on over and over. No word. Another exhale. In the background, the creak of wood. An aging door used only by the wind. A half grunt that reveals nothing. Suddenly, the line goes. The receiver clicks back into place. You step away. Silk number 3, the old silk factory, once the pounding heart of the city. Pseudopod had a purchase order from a vendor called Carmuna. She must be in here somewhere. You also have that curious red disc to hand. A media specialist could likely tell you more. Loose stitching and cheap fabric, the odd cotton hemorrhoid erupting at the seams. Soft animals, mostly stylized blobs with little regard for real anatomy. They could not tell you if they knew. The different species are all numbered. Number 1s are bunnies, number 2s. There isn't a number 3. Plushie number 3 is you. You turn back to...
You feel that? rattling around inside you. It's part of you. Fangs, claws, nasty glowing eyes and all that. The animal within. It's been caged down there for years, sticking its snout in the lightless dirt, licking the insides of aluminium cans. You are an animal. The divide between human and beast is an illusion. Stops you unlocking your full potential, your connection with primal impulses and power. Throw open the cage. Let the beast come forward in all its stinking, biting glory. The animal is out.
Excuse me. Can you take a look at this?
The young woman turns from a store of party wigs and beaded necklaces to thrust a photograph under your nose. A hooded burrow, she the mouse within. The photograph shows a robust man well into his 60s. He is unremarkable save his eyes, which are magnified to comedic proportions by the thick lens spectacles in front of him.
Have you seen him before? You're sure? Thanks for taking a look. Wanna buy some costume accessories? My name's Malene if you need anything. Mi viejo, my dad. He's been missing a few days. Right, I should have started with that, I guess. His name's Constanz. I'm just worried. I told him watching too much TV was making him crazy. After Dad retired, his friend Gilmar turned him onto this show, the reality situation. They were obsessed, had them convinced they were truth detectives. Which apparently means someone who goes around looking for evidence of invisible aircraft carriers and iodine-deficient children. Dad and Gilmar were always following up on leads and calling into the show. Felt like Bagman was encouraging them, you know? That's what I was scared of. Look, this is kind of embarrassing. My dad developed this insane theory about the payphone to the western exit of the bazaar. Dad thought certain words said into the right phone gets your attention from the wrong people. He was convinced Emter was behind it all.
Emter, aka Non-Peer Sans Territoire, aka the bank. Equal parts Global Development Fund and spy service. Linchpin of the developed world.
Dad and his friend Gilmar were big into conspiracies. They were obsessed with the reality situation. They really bought all that stuff. Bagman did an episode on them, and so Gilmar started following random people thinking they were from the bank. Not long after, he roped my dad into it. Guys in expensive business suits usually. Foreign accents, verbally abusive, and tight with their money. Except when it comes to treating a client. Normal rich guy stuff. hitting up the bars and shouting abuse at the local drunks. And then they disappeared into penthouses where they couldn't be followed. That's what Gilmore thought. He stayed out after my viejo went home. And then he called my dad around 2 in the morning. He'd overheard something and was explaining it when the call just cut off. My dad went by his house the next day, but Gilmore wasn't there. Yeah. He looked for Gilmore for 2 weeks. Reported him... A couple days ago, he stopped by the stall to bring me lunch. Then he said he was going to make a call. I wasn't nervous at first. I figured there was no risk of anything actually happening. No. I mean, he just can't leave things alone when he gets an idea into his head.
Momentarily, the mumbling from the nearby stalls hushes, listening.
They seem pretty random. Cousins, moon, reunion. On their own, sure. Together? Gibberish. I guess. When he tried to tell me, I wasn't really paying attention to him. He had those written down on a pad in his bedroom. He told me not to say them if I used the phone. It all sounded so silly. Anyway, you want a wig? I hear they make you fun at parties. Why?
Knuckles white as she balls them into fists.
Really? You're not going to try to make a call or anything, right? Okay. It's the phone by the western entrance to the bazaar.
Wig topiary, plastic tiaras, novelty sunglasses. A burst of colours and textures vying for your attention. All of them losing. Behind it all, you see an oddly familiar shape. The tailored shoulders, the sharp collar. The shape is robust and clean, with an architectural asymmetry, like a knife. A cape, but nothing like the other costume pieces around it.
It's a Carabinero outfit.
Carabineros are Portofiro's sanctioned police investigators. They report directly to the Prefectura and deal in actual crime. Murder, grand larceny, rape.
That'd be illegal.
That's not a no.
Second-hand surplus warehouse in Lower Viudas was closing down a while back. No, I told Officer Morito. He said it was above his pay grade. He kicked it up, and they kicked it right back down. Yeah.
Local law enforcement is far beneath you in effectiveness and influence. You need to lower yourself, Operator.
The whole set's back here. Just let me know if you're interested. Yeah, they're right there. Take a look. You need anything else? Oh, yeah, he came by. Nice man. Talked a lot about... he was, normal. Pretty forgettable, if I'm honest. I told him, unless your socks are mismatched and neon-colored, I'm not much use to you. Not really. Wandered off into the bazaar.
Looking you straight in the eyes. Sympathetic. She really doesn't know.
What do you mean, something's happened? Did he use the phone? Oh, at least you have that. Sorry. Yeah, I was kind of distracted when he showed up. Oh, that's, Ultravioleta, the Elysium pop star. Always thought that type of music was too young for me, but I've been enjoying her stuff recently, for some reason. No, but it's definitely her kind of title.
She peers at the disc again, blonde hair falling over her face.
Weird disc, that. You should ask Petre at the music stall over there. He'll know more. Doubt he's an ultra, though. I guess I used to. Haven't had time lately. But I usually know when something's going on, There's a show somewhere in the Hill of Pigs tonight, but it's already sold out. Dead. Still a few maggots writhing around in the corpse meat. 10 or 15 years ago, there were feedback parties in the backways. Anyone who played loud enough could jam. You'd hear the distortion 3 canals away. Now, if anybody plays around here at all, it's just covers of Elysium stuff.
Elysium stuff? The Luz is a techno-fascist state. Are they jackbooting on music now?
Yeah, alright. Thanks for stopping by.
Cosmonaut suit, a relic of Project Altanemia. Its shoulder patch reads, "The stars are ours, 77. If it is, then it's one of the few things for sale here that isn't a knockoff Lusian electronic disc. Is. A classroom with a buffed blue floor and white fiberboard tiling. The teacher rolls a square little television in on a cart. The girls in their final year of gymnasium gather round. The camera follows the white column up, and then it jerks, or cuts out. When the picture returns, there's just a white cloud sprouting new white limbs. The rocket nowhere to be seen. For a long moment, none of the students can tell what's happening. Then, one by one, they realize. A faulty seal, a minor propellant leak. Next thing you know, 4 cosmonauts are splattered across the face of God. You and millions of school children the world over. Expensive, fruitless. The failure of Project Altanemia promptly tanks the Portofiro economy. Supreme leader Nestor flees into his 3rd exile not long after. As for the bazaar, it's saturated with surplus equipment, memorabilia and replicas. The suit is most likely the latter. Few of it genuine, but does it matter if the feeling's real? 5,000. No wonder it's still. You'll focus wider. The gate is bound to the pole by a thin steel chain. Rust speckles your fingertips. A system compromised at the subatomic level. We're gonna need tools for this one. You push the gate. The metal creaks. This isn't the only way through. You can always go the long way, around the docks to the west. The gate creaks and... Bagman gestures wildly on the television screen.
I know about... Find out what I am Subcommandante Beckman, and...
The sounds... The fire exit stands conspicuously ajar. Someone has wedged it open with a ball. Nobody is paying any particular attention to the door, or seems close enough to care. Suspiciously nonchalant. They're just going about their days. It's a pelota ball, the local variation of handball. Pelota balls are not designed for use as doorstops. Someone has elevated this ball to contraption status. It's just a ball in a door. A dark hallway. At the opposite end, you can just make out the bottom of a metal staircase. A fine place to hide in a moment of crisis. Marked and remembered. You emerge into the rusted insides of a deceased mechanical beast. The only light comes dimly from above a set of steel stairs, which you alight carefully, gripping the cold railing. The sticker on the panel reads, Propriedade de Renotel. In the center, the company's familiar dolphin mascot grins at you. Inside, you find a dirt-covered computer terminal. Above the gridwork of corroded wires, a sleek cable cuts a path towards the antenna. The ancient terminal groans in response. Relays clack in a series of deep, satisfying clicks, like pistol chambers locking into place. System waking. Please wait. Welcome to Renotel Control version 1.2. Copyright 87. The artery before you connects to every device connected to the Renotel wireless network. The text cursor highlights the blank space where your command should go. Ask it. That's a text cursor. When you type in a sequence of characters, it recognizes. You step away from the refreshments are lined up like brightly colored soldiers, neatly regimented behind coiled springs. The refreshments You stop and take the world in, a figure jittering on paws. Nobody looks up. Nobody asks why you're here. Nobody waves. 100 stop and take the one. 100 conversations blend into one. The tobacco crackles as it catches fire. You take your time with the first inhale. Smoke rises above the vendors, the walkways, the loose brick and smashed glass. At some point during its ascent, you lose track of it. The world seems somewhat more kind, or at least less hostile. You're watching. Taking a breather, casing the joint, looking for love. Feels with enough time you could put down roots, grow moss, scare the tourists, sure. But are you really built for that? The bazaar stretches before you. A living, breathing river of color, plastic, textiles. A child zooms past with a toy. A plastic wolf with glowing electric eyes. 2 stalls down, the hum of an old disc player buzzes out into the crowd. Further down, a woman with red curls haggles with a vendor. A handful of kids crowd the stall, faces lit by the multicolored glare of Elysium electronics. Shouts of glee follow the report of a toy gun. Behind them, you see the salesman involuntarily flinch at the sound of the toy gun. The children take no notice. Nerves stretched taut to breaking point. Tarps are withdrawn, crates unloaded from the holds of barges. In the pauses between movements, one of them lights a cigarette and stares, as you do, out at the bazaar with an intense gaze. The gaze of a hunter, or of someone expecting to be hunted, on guard for a sudden eruption of violence. One of the vendors wearily reorganizes her wares. It seems like a hopeless endeavor amid the chaos of piled goods. It's not her mess. Someone has been through and upended her stall. Suddenly, it's obvious. You see it in the movements of the bazaar just as you would see a limp in the gait of an animal. A tension, a furtive rapidity in the rhythms of every transaction, in the mien of every salesperson. The bazaar trundles on, functional, but wounded. Yes, they are on guard for the intruders in their midst. An enemy pack has passed through recently, kicking, raiding, intimidating, searching for something, or someone. The bazaar is trying to gather itself after an attack, while bracing for another. A sharp inhale, then your feet return to motion. A filthy flyer glued to the wall. A row of bespectacled men stare into the middle distance, while in their midst a lone figure looks towards the viewer. A man with a brown Yellow text in black and white. Tune in. Everyday coverage. And in all caps. They did it again. The Subcommandante salutes you. The People's Bureau of Entertainment would never allow something this anarchic to make it to air. Hold on. You know what could use a little more reality? That big blank wall next to your bed. It's been adhered to the wall with blue reusable adhesive. Sticky, easy for quick installation and removal. You're able to get it down and rolled up without any difficulty. The Guardia Municipal officer is intensely scratching at his neck. As you approach, he wipes his hand on his trouser leg.
Hola, miss. Hope there's a reason you stopped an officer while he's on duty. Socks are the one thing I don't need. Too many elderly relatives for that. Officer Morito, agente coordinador for the Guardia Municipal. Do you need help with anything? Of course there is. It's nonsense, if you ask Marito. Not well, but I've known her a long time. Eno used to bring her here as a toddler. Yeah, Eno's gone. Him and his other fuck-up buddy Gilmar.
But not dead, he reckons, by the way his face curdles.
Figure these two just ran off, leaving the kid to deal with their mess. Not at the same time. That'd be too obvious. Eno reported Gilmer missing about a week before he disappeared.
That's a lot of skepticism around reported and disappeared.
Way I see it, they started planting the phone story weeks ahead of time as a cover. Planned the whole scheme. Got two theories. Debts is the obvious one, of course. It'd make sense. 80% of all disappearances are debt-related. The other 20, it's statistics. I can't argue with those. Now, if it's not debts, then we're clearly looking at something more salacious. Two men, yeah? Old friends, close friends, detecting together. Whoa there. No need to get explicit. I don't need the image in my head. Can't. Payphones belong to Renotel. It's private business. The Guardia Municipal doesn't have jurisdiction to look into that. The Fiscalia. One could put a request through them, but that's a lot of paperwork. Better to stick to the law. The law's not perfect, sure. I can tell you Petra the music vendor's a major arsehole. I asked him about an old Blood Golem disc, and he told me he'd...
Doesn't make sense. Why not go for something that sinks?
I told him as much. He said that was the point. His demise should be slow, so that I'd hear him scream for hours. I suspect he mostly hates himself. I don't get why he brings up all this violent stuff all the time. If he ever goes through with it, there won't be any shock value. It'll just be sad. Blood Golem is a band. Blood Golem heals all wounds. It's the sound that raised us from shit-crusted upright apes into humans. Primal, filthy, slow, all ending. Like an army of giants growling underwater while smashing cliffs together.
None of these words make any sense to you, either singly or even less.
As a matter of fact, too powerful for most Portofirans. It's like nobody cares about our... We've had instances of theft around the docks recently. All the crates were ripped open in strange ways. Yeah, messily and without tools. Seems like the work of kids, if you ask me. Must be trying to scare people too, as weird noises have been heard at night. Screaming and howling.
A monkey. You just know it.
Can't be. There are no monkeys around here. Unless... The animal zone used to have one, but it was shut down ages ago. It can't still be in there. Rubbish. There must be another explanation. A tiny feral man, perhaps. Just outside the western entrance of the bazaar. But there's a big metal shutter in front of it now. You can't get in. Anyway, apart from that, it's quiet around here. Just how I like it. The quieter, the better, I'd say. Really, the hardest part's keeping people away from the boars. That's the big one. You're lucky then. We've been dealing with an infestation for weeks. Back ways are full of them. It used to be a seasonal problem. Every autumn, some adults would come down bold and hungry. But lately, it's more of a permanent residency. At best, they're a nuisance. The little ones are fine, but the adults could take off a kneecap if you're not careful. And then there's the really big one, the mother. Oh, 100, 150 kilos? Easy. They don't seem so bad if they're alone. But they're massive. Furs all matted, covered in scars, territorial too. Preys on drunks, stumbling back from Party Alley. You shouldn't joke like that. All mothers are special, even this one. No love like a mother's. Anything that can survive on the streets of Kisok has got the stars' favor, and I have respect for astrology. So when the mother comes around, I do my best to keep civilians out of the backways. Tusks, claws, knives, bullets, take your pick. Every few years some brave moron tries to take her down, but she stands undefeated. You got a weird glint in your eyes. Let's not do anything stupid, all right? You back away, slowly. If you get a whiff of it charging, find something to climb if you can. And then, come find me. How bad does it look?
Scaly reliefs and cracked plates, like some diseased armor.
Shit, I knew it. I hope it's not the topical ball repellent I've been using. Instructions said to apply generously. And here I was hoping it'd help.
As you step away, the storefront is closed firm with a metal shutter. You lift the shutter gently. It resists. Locked. Carl was here. M plus Y, heart. You turn away from... An assortment of cargo crates sits in waiting, adorned with faint chalk marks and bright yellow labels. Machine printed, crisp and official. They all bear the same logo, tiny gold dots in a precise angular pattern. Point of origin, Ministry of Mass Culture, Cicatriz Frontera, the lengthening gleaming capital of Leluz. The Luz, officially the Illuminated Empire, an auto-technocratic regime which has emerged from its slumber in recent decades. These crates aren't smuggled at all. They're government-sanctioned from the Lusian Cultural Ministry. A maze of hastily drawn letters and numbers stands in contrast to the printed labels above. The symbols range from A. You're not meant to be able to. It's not for you. Black cartons of cigarettes are stacked in tight rows. One of them has been slit open, 2 packs missing. The sight reminds you of a set of stairs descending into the dark of the basement. Even worse, they've taken the poor cigarettes home for sloppy seconds. Around you, dock workers move in predictable patterns. Your hands sink into their rhythm and find the carton's edge. Under your fingertips, cellophane wrapping gives way to cardstock. You retract your hand, a single packet of Ouroboros Blacks clutched in it. The design portrays a snake eating its tail, embossed in gold. Top shelf tobacco. There's at least 500 sol worth of cigarettes in this crate. You've seen these before, smoked them before. This was Tempo's brand. Tempo del Sur, mid-tier deity in the local underworld, and once your asset, cryptonym Taxman, also someone you once called a friend. No answer. The bazaar murmurs. The smell of Lusian tobacco wafts up your nose. You step away. An assortment of cards. You step away. A steel door is before you. Faint oxidation halos bloom across it, like algae on a sunken wreck. No response. It's locked. Still locked, somewhat inevitably. Try one of the many doors that are not locked, or the open-air black market, which happily doesn't feature doors at all. You step back. This is the one. The payphone that makes people disappear. A giddy feeling rises in you as the payphone receiver emits a hollow whistle in your ear. You hear only the reverberation of your own voice, amplified by the phone. Still half hoping for something to happen, you put the receiver down. You hear... Still, you hang up the phone.
You're back again.
The GM. You step back to the town. You turn back to the bazaar.